Our planet Earth is always wearing down. Its mountains are crumbling, its valleys are widening, and its plains are being buried. Rivers are the main force behind this process, slowly sculpting the Earth's crust. But why? What causes this constant reshaping of our planet? Welcome to my channel, and today let's find out what happens when rivers wear down the Earth. First, let's understand denudation. Denudation means wearing down or tearing down. When we talk about the Earth's surface, it's all about breaking down rocks, soil, and other materials. It's like when you take a big bite of an apple. You're breaking down the fruit into smaller pieces. But why does this happen? Well, the Earth's surface is constantly exposed to wind, rain, ice, and the sun. These things work together to break down the Earth's materials over time. These forces are called agents of denudation. For example, imagine the wind blowing over a hill. Over millions of years, it can wear down the hill, making it smaller and smaller. Or think about a river flowing over rocks. The water can break down the rocks and make them smoother and more rounded. But which of these forces is the most powerful? That's right, rivers. Rivers are like little sculptors, slowly carving out shapes in the earth. They're the most important agent of denudation. Let's explore how. Rivers shape the land in three main ways: erosion, transportation, and deposition. First, erosion. This is where the river breaks down the rocks and soil in its path. Think about a river flowing over a rocky area. The water's movement creates small whirlpools and eddies. These movements are like tiny hammers hitting the rocks. Over time, they can break down the rocks into smaller pieces. Also, as the water flows, it picks up these small pieces and carries them along. This is called transportation. The river carries these rocks and soil particles downstream. Finally, deposition. When the river slows down, it drops off the rocks and soil it's been carrying. This happens when the river reaches a lake or an ocean. All this material that the river drops off builds up over time, creating new landforms. In the upper course of a river, the riverbed is often narrow and the sides are steep. Here, the river flows fast and has a lot of energy. This energy is focused on a small area, so the river cuts down into the ground, making the valley deeper. Downstream, the river enters the middle course. Here, the valley widens because the river starts to meander. Meandering is when the river makes loops and curves as it flows. In the lower course, the river is much wider and slower. Most of the energy is used up by the time it gets here. The river drops off its load of rocks and soil, which makes the valley even wider. This process of erosion is happening all the time. It's how rivers cut through rock and shape the land. But what kind of landforms does it create? In the upper course, where the river is fast and has a lot of energy, it creates V-shaped valleys. The riverbed is often smooth and polished because of all the erosion going on. Downstream, in the middle and lower course, the river is slower and meanders. This creates a much wider and flatter valley. The sides of the valley may also be flatter. Over time, the river will deposit all the material it's been carrying, creating floodplains. Now, remember, erosion is caused by the force of moving water. This force is stronger when the water is moving faster. But why does the water move faster in some places and slower in others? The steepness of the land affects how fast the water moves. On steeper land, gravity makes the water move faster. On flatter land, the water moves slower. So in the upper course, the land is steeper and the river has more energy. In the middle and lower course, the land is flatter and the river has less energy. Now you know why the river carves differently in each part of its journey. The next time you look at a river, remember it's not just a source of water. It's a powerful force that shapes our planet. It's an artist that carves and paints the landscape with rocks and soil. It's a sculptor that creates beautiful landforms like valleys and floodplains. Rivers are like nature's way of keeping the planet fresh and new. They're always changing the look of the Earth's surface. They're also really important for us humans. We use rivers for drinking, farming, and transportation. So next time you see a river, take a moment to appreciate the amazing work of nature's most powerful artists. Thanks for watching. See you next time.